the one and only, the first and last time I've ever gone on a Tinder date.
Such bravery as a gent, huh? That's definitely what he's going for. You have nothing to worry about, sister. This guy doesn't get women. This guy doesn't get women, dog. No way you're gonna tell a girl this, dog.
And I was like tipsy, but I wasn't that, I wasn't that far gone. And I have a Tinder man horror story.
Cute. She probably has a crazy story. Like, yo, if you cute, you've been through some shit. I can't lie. You've been through some shit.
And this shit happened like 3 weeks ago, and I'm gonna tell you about it. Okay, so about like 3 weeks ago, I matched with this guy on Tinder.
What is she doing on a dating app with this beauty though? Like, hold on, bro. Like, why don't people just go outside? You see someone approach, you chop it up, boom, that's a thing now, bro. Why do you do that, bro?
And we talked for like 3 days, and the conversation was good. So I was like, you know what? Here's my number. Like, let's text over here. And he was like, okay, great. And, the conversation kept going well for like 2-3 days. And then he was like, can I have your Snap? And I was like, sure. Because you guys know how I am about Snap. I fucking hate it. And so like 4 or 5 days into talking, he was like, so when are you going to plan our date? And I was like, I find that a little weird, but I'll put that to the side. And I let it slide and whatever. And I remember I was like, why do I plan the date? You plan the date. And he was like, oh, you're one of those. I was like, okay. First red flag. And then anyway, so like a little like fast forward.
Yeah.
He was like, just letting you know, the first time we meet, we will be fucking.
Such bravery as a gent, huh? As a guy. First day we meet, we will be fucking. Like, he's not even asking you, he's telling you, sister. Stay away. That's the hot R word coming. It's loading.
And I don't use protection, so I will be finishing inside of you.
Oh no! This guy doesn't get women, dog. No way you're gonna tell a girl this, dog. Okay, cool. Listen to this. So the guy first said, yo, when are you planning the date? Secondly, when we get on the date, I'll be piping you. And when I pipe you, you're gonna have a baby. She's not asking, he's telling her all this. Probably in his head he's thinking, yo, I'm being assertive right now. I'm cooking right now. But yo, you're killing it, bruv. You're burning the stove. That's crazy, right?
And I don't use protection, so I will be finishing inside of you.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what? And like, we got into a fight over it, and he was like, well, it's how I mark my territory. Like, what?
Hell no, boy.
And that's when I was like, okay, enough with this.
He has a lot of babies by now. I doubt it, though. If that's how he's talking, I doubt it. What do you all think? I doubt it.
Guy, and I like ghosted him. I made the mistake of not removing him, and I'll tell you why. So about a week later, I went out with a few friends, and we were like dancing, drinking, having fun, and I posted on my Snapchat story where I was. And I remember like a few hours after I posted it, I was like dancing, and I looked to my right, and I see the fucking guy from Tinder, the creepy ass, like that guy, like I saw him. So anyway, because I was like a little tipsy and whatever, I was like, you know what? I'm scared, but let me just be nice to this guy and not like, tell him to go fuck off or whatever. Like I should have. And I was like, oh my God, hey. And he was like, oh, I wanted to meet you so bad. And
remember,
I saw that you
not their first time meeting. Will he actually pipe her?
were here. So I just took initiative and came. And I was like, oh my God, that's fucking weird. And I was like, oh, okay. And, he grabbed me and like tried to dance with me. And he was very touchy. And I was so uncomfortable. Like, he was very touchy. Like, he was squeezing everything of mine. It was like not fun whatsoever. And he was like force kissing me and stuff.
I
and
think
it's just
he
like,
might be exaggerating some things. Where does the man get the bravery, dog? First time meeting your girl, you're squeezing that shit. You're squeezing that shit. Like, hold on, bro.
it wasn't fun.
And y'all are dating. Y'all aren't being like, maybe I'm getting undressed and stuff like that. Y'all are just dancing, bro, in public too.
And I was like tipsy, but I wasn't that, I wasn't that far gone. And I was like nodding to my friends and I was like, no. And they were like, okay. And I had my guy friend there and he was like, I'll take care of it. And he told the guy pretty much like, you gotta go or else we're gonna call security. Like, you gotta go. Yeah, it was really creepy. Go to part two. Part two, Tinder man horror story. Okay, sorry, I have to rush. But yeah, so after he left, like we just danced and like my night was just like ruined. So I was like, can we please go home? And then he texted me and he was like, I'm so sorry, you had a bad time. I'll make it up to you, I promise. And I was like, yeah. Why isn't this shit coming out? And I was like, yep, you're done.
Yeah.
So anyway, I no longer talk to him.
You should have been exactly how you should have been. You should have been done. That's the good thing.
He is now blocked. And
Let us have a turn, dog. Like, come on, man. Let us have a turn, man.
not even on any more dating apps. Like, I'm just done. That shit scared the fuck out of me. So yeah, sometimes it's okay to ghost. Just saying. Sometimes it's okay.
Bruh, I don't get why she just put on makeup and made herself worse. In my opinion, she was very pretty without makeup. Now she's just too colored. First of all, her eyes are just white, while here it's just peach. It's just like so weird, bruh. But like she was just so pretty without the makeup. Now her skin is just confusing me. But let's see her end. Let's see the end. Maybe she's gonna cook something there.
Anyway, so I'm going to a club tonight.
I don't
Like
hate anyone that puts makeup. If you wanna put makeup on. But like I'm just looking at her right now.
real club. It's called Birch in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I'm promoting it. So if you're in Jersey, head over there, babe. But I am rushing, and I will be right back with my outfit. Here's the fit. Oh my god, I haven't worn this dress in so long. Y'all better be at Birch tonight. Just saying.
Allow me to tell you about an interesting date I went on with a guy who wanted a heck of a lot more than I bargained for. I've not been on a date in well over a year and a half.
She looks like one of those England, like a queen, like those, you know, those like, your majesty, you know what I'm saying?
So with that, I've never had a relationship, but that does not mean that I have not had some interesting date stories, okay? So sit back, relax, and allow me to tell you why I'm still single. There's so many interesting ones, I don't know where to start. You know what? I've nicknamed them all, so let's begin with Dan, the dogging man. So let me take you back to 2020. I was 18, he was 22, and this was literally like a few days before we went into lockdown, which is crazy. We met each other on Tinder, and this is the one and only, the first and last time I've ever gone on a Tinder date. Never again. Oh, I hate dating apps as it is, and that is definitely
not. As a
not.
pretty girl, you shouldn't be on Tinder. Like, personally speaking, unless you're trying to weigh your options. I don't get Tinder, dog. Listen. So this is how Tinder works, right? People who want to find love go on Tinder, right? And girls who want to find love, same as boys. But now, the high-class men who can actually get girls without using an app, and the beautiful women who can actually get men without using an app are doing it outside Tinder. It's only the rejects that go to Tinder. That's my opinion, though.
Dating app, okay? That is a booty call app.
What is she doing on Tinder, bro? Hold on.
I learned that pretty quickly on this date. Well, technically I learned it after the date. Allow me to explain. So like I said, we met on Tinder, we messaged for like a couple of days, and I already knew of who he was. So that's the only reason I went on this date, okay? That's why dating apps terrify me. I don't like meeting up with strangers. So I already knew of him, so I was like, okay, let's do it. At the time, I'd only ever been on dates that were like, take me to Nando's or whatever, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, do you want to go for a drink? And I was like, wow, that's really mature. That's really cool. Okay, let's go for a drink. So he picked me up a couple days later, and we went to a really shit bar, honestly, in my hometown. It's shocking. I can't even believe I've actually...
She was so happy that, hey, I'm gonna get a drink, and then we went to a shit bar that just went to crap, bro. They just literally just went to crap.
In there, and that's not me trying to sound like ungrateful for where he took me. Like, it was absolutely fine. I don't care where we go as long as we're like connecting, but just the bar has like a reputation of being quite tragic. Anyway, so we went to this bar, and, you know, got a couple of drinks and everything, and we were actually getting on really well. Like, we was in there for a good like hour and a half, I want to say. Talked about all the usual stuff, you know, family, likes, dislikes and everything. Like I said, we got on really well. And then a conversation that we landed upon, which at the time I genuinely thought was quite normal because it was very heavily talked about. I was still like just fresh out of college at that point. We talked about like virginity and stuff like that.
I knew there's gonna be something along, what is your favorite position? What do you like doing, like during sex and stuff like that? It's all sexual, bruh.
And, you know, obviously I was like, well, I am very much still a virgin, okay? Which is still true to this day, I'll be honest with you. He was like, oh, I really respect you.
Not being honest, dog. I have to break it to you, she's not being honest. You see, the fact that she needs to validate it at the end of the sentence and be like, I'll be honest with you. Nah, boy. She's not being honest.
Talked about like virginity and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously I was like, well, I am very much still a virgin, okay? Which is still true to this day, I'll be honest with you. He was like, oh, I really respect you for that. You've got a lot of self-respect for that. Which boys always say to me, and I'm like, are you basically saying that girls who aren't, like, don't have respect for themselves? Because that's an odd message to send. Please don't say that, girlies. You're absolutely fine. Anyway, this is context, okay? So he knows this. So we have a couple more drinks, and then he's like, oh, do you want to, like, it's getting kind of late, should we leave? And I was like, yeah, honestly, because this place is a bit crap. Anyway, so we walk out, and he's like, oh, do you want to maybe, like, go for a drive? By this point, I think it's like 9:30 at night. Like I said, we're still in my hometown, so I still feel pretty safe. He was like, do you want to go for a drive? And I was like, oh, I know what a drive means. I know what drive means.
What does it mean? I'm trying to figure it out.
Huh, okay. I was still in my very much phase of, I really don't know how to say no. Like, I find it really awkward.
So
do you know what?
Cracked. Definitely. She got smashed. What do you mean, though?
I still do now, honestly. I'm like, oh, I don't want to say no and sound weird, but
I don't want to say no. Put it in me.
I was like, okay, let's go for a drive. And here's where it all goes downhill. Oh my goodness. We get in his car, we drive him for about 10 minutes or whatever, still chatting on the way, and he takes me to a very strange location, okay? He takes me to our local leisure centre, like our local swimming pool's car park. Like I said, it's, what, 9:30 at night? We're not going swimming. I don't know why there's quite a few cars in the car park. I wasn't expecting that, and also I don't know why he took me there, but at the time I was like, oh, maybe he just wanted to go to a secluded place, free to just sort of leave your car and just park up for a bit and just have a chat. Okay, fair enough.
Chat. Definitely, that's what he's going for. That's definitely what he's going for. You have nothing to worry about, sister. He just wants to have a chat.
Maybe he just thought of this off the top of his head and was like, well, yeah, we'll go there. Spoiler alert, that was not the case. So we park up and we're talking for, I want to say at least like another half an hour. And when I say we're talking, I mean I am, okay? Because from this point on, hello, he barely answered any questions about himself. He kept directing the conversation back towards me and was like, no, I want to hear more about you. And I was like, look, respectfully, okay, I can't build a connection with you if I don't know anything about you, because it feels like I'm doing all the talking here. Also, it was a very dimly lit car park, and I think the light from the lamppost was on me, but not on him, so he was in the dark. It just felt a bit ominous.
Seriously, okay.
You know, he just wasn't, he wasn't saying anything. Then, now, this is a very key detail, okay? Quite funny, but also I am so glad that I have sisters that are willing to do this, or even think to do this without me asking them, okay? I hadn't realised they'd been blowing up my phone, you know, for the past sort of half an hour anyway, while I was in this location, saying like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I just sort of kept looking at the phone and going, oh, just leave me alone, I'll text you after. I'll tell you what happened, like, after. I thought they were just eager to know about the date. Yeah. At this point, I rarely went on any. At this point, we're sitting in the car having a chat, and I see a car drive past in front. Bear in mind, no other cars are moving, okay? This car came into the car park, drove past our car, and circled around and then went back out. Looked at the number plate, and I was like, that looks like my sister's car. I was fairly certain that that was my sister's number plate and my sister's car, and I was like, I wonder what she's doing here. Maybe just checking up on me. A little bit weird.
Oh, maybe she's also gonna get cracked. A little bit weird, right? A little like y'all just at the same location. Who knows?
Protective. I thought nothing of it, and I was like, do you know what, I'll just ask her when I get home. Kept talking for a little bit more, and then I think the section that we were in of the car.
Why didn't she think about the other scenario though? Like maybe my sister's coming here with someone else and stuff like that, or sister's just single or borderline, like nothing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Car park was closing, so we moved to another section. At this point, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and like I said, we'd been talking for the past couple hours,
or at least came in to check up and all. That's cute. That's
so
cute.
I wasn't really feeling much anymore, and I was like,
I know it may seem like I'm delayed, but like I know that she checked up. I just want to know why we didn't think that, yo, since you're there, you haven't checked your phone. Why didn't you think that your sister's maybe coming here to hang out as well?
I don't know about this, you know. And I was like, honestly, we don't have to move to a different spot. I was like, oh, do you know what, I've actually got to be up early in the morning. I'm going on like a little, you know, trip with my mum and my sisters. Like, maybe you could drop me home. He was like, no, let's just stay out a little bit longer. Let's just chat for a little bit more. I love talking to you. And I was like, oh.
No, he's trying to plan, how can I land this crack? How can I land this open, bro?
Okay, fine. So we moved on to a different spot in the car park, and I carried on talking. Bearing in mind that when I go on first dates or I'm around men in general, I get very nervous, very anxious. I feel very nauseous. You know, it's just not a very good situation. And I end up probably spewing a lot of crap because I'm not really thinking about what's coming out of my mouth. So I'd love to know what I filled the time with, quite honestly. So it's building, right? I know that a kiss or something is looming. I know it's coming, all right? He offers me gum and everything. And then he starts leaning in and fidgeting in his seat. Bearing in mind, he still hasn't really said anything, okay? The conversation's all been about me. He leans in and he goes, do you want to know what I think?
What do you think, brother? What do you think, huh?
Sorry. Oh, ick. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. TikTokers made me hate that face. I'll fast forward, okay, we did a little kissy and had like a few little kisses. One thing you should probably know about me is that I find kissing very, very awkward. I still do. I think it's just because I'm...
You know, like, gee, like, how are we supposed to understand goals right now? Like this, okay, so in his head, clearly guys, okay, let's get his side of the story, because she's not saying his side of the story, right? So she's saying this guy's wrong. We're investigating a wrong guy right now, but at the same time, she's leading him on. This guy clearly took her to the car park to try to crack, but now she's kissing him in the car. As a guy, what are you thinking?
maybe haven't found the right person.
Just let that sink in. Let that sink in, guys.
To kiss yet or something. But either way, every time I've done it, I've just felt like, oh, this is really awkward. But I've always been told that I'm quite good. So I take grace in that, but I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so we had a few kisses and I was like, do you know what? This is not. And he was trying to make advances, like he wanted it to go a bit further. And I was like, whoa, hold your horses, bucko. That is not going to happen tonight. This is a very bizarre statement to come out of my mouth. Okay, I shouldn't have to say this, but I eventually convinced him to drive me home at like, what, midnight? You should never have to convince a guy to drop you home from a date.
I mean, after you've been leading the guy on, you have to do a bit of convincing. You have to. I mean, you let him on. He thinks you want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. So drops me home, and for some prior context as well, when he picked me up like a few doors down from mine. Fair enough, you wouldn't know the exact house, that's all right. But on the way back, he also then dropped me at like the end of my road, which is like a couple minutes walk up to my house. You know, it's pitch black, it's midnight. And I was like, oh, you can park outside my house, like it's fine. Like no one's awake or whatever, if that's what you're worried about. And he was like, no, it's better this way. What are you talking about? On the way back from the car park that he took me to, he kept going, oh wow, that got really intense, didn't it? That got really heated. And I was thinking, I don't know if we were in the same car, mate, but I weren't feeling what you were feeling. Maybe I have that effect on people, I don't know, but I weren't feeling it. For you, maybe, not for me. So
I swear she didn't tell him that though. I'm
in my house, and my mum and my sister are literally waiting behind the front door like, oh my god, are you okay, what happened? And I was like, yeah, it wasn't really that great. And they were like, do you know where he took you? Because they were checking on like Life 360. That's why she obviously followed me in the car park. I was like, yeah, he took me to the swimming pool car park. Like, what on earth? And she went, no, he took you to a popular dogging spot. What the fuck? Needless to say, we did no barking of any kind, and he definitely did not get a second date. Thinking about it now, I might be traumatised by that date, honestly, but I did end up going on more. So if you want to hear more date stories, let me.
I wanted to... Wait. Before we even move on, this is one of those girls that act innocent. Because like, if we listen to everything that she just said, she said that she's anxious around guys. She doesn't know how to kiss, but guys normally compliment her that, hey, you kiss good. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. You can't tell us that you're anxious, you don't know how to kiss, and then they compliment you. Practice makes perfect. So I think she's like an undercover player. She's playing the long game. Like, I'm so innocent, I don't know anything, but she knows a lot. Stay safe.